So shame, right, rooted even in the Eden story in the snake who represents desire, right? Shame is often directly related, right, to our experience of desire. And our experience of our desire, right, and the frustration of desire. And shame often adheres to the sexual, not because the sexual is all of desire, but because the sexual is an expression. The sexual models desire, models Eros, whose quality is desire. It doesn't exhaust Eros, whose quality is desire. So you've got this quality of desire that's somehow frustrated, and in some fundamental way, the frustration of that quality, right, is deeply related, right, to the fundamental experience, right, of shame itself. So let's see if we can find this. So I'm young. And before we go into the sexual expression of it, because shame virtually always adheres to sex, but it's not limited to sex. Sex is an experience of the currency of aliveness. But let me just give you a simpler example. You're 2 years old, and your mother, right, who you love dearly and who's your entire world, right? Your mother has just bought a new apartment, right, just like Helma did, right? And the walls were white walls, and she was, in the kitchen preparing the first meal, and she'd left you, in the room, and her purse was there, and you look at this beautiful, big, fantastic, gorgeous white wall, and you feel your aliveness, surging through you, and you want to engage this white wall, which is very beautiful. So you go into your mother's purse, and you find lipstick. Oh my God, mother loves me so much, she left me a paintbrush, right? And you take the lipstick out. Remember, don't look at me, just stay inside wherever you are, right? You take the lipstick out, and you start coloring that wall until, one, and then you go, and there's another lipstick there, and you get that whole lipstick, and then you find, wow, this was a big day for Mom. There's one more. She left you 3 because she knew that you needed 3 to fill up the whole wall, right? And now it's fantastic. This wall is gorgeous, right? And then you say, Mommy! And your entire heart is wide open, right? And Mommy walks in the door, and she's going to pick you up and love you and embrace you as she experiences your wild and beautiful aliveness, right? And she walks in, and she's had a really, really hard day. And all of a sudden, your beautiful Mommy looks at you, your little girl, says, "You little bitch!" And then maybe she loses and says, "You little fucking bitch! What the fuck did you do?" Shame is born. And at that moment in your life, you cannot disambiguate, you cannot distinguish between your goodness and your aliveness. And that's a critical sentence. You can't distinguish between your goodness and aliveness, nor should you be able to, because actually they're inextricably bound. And so your aliveness has been rejected by the universe, because the mother is the universe, right? That's why attachment theory works, right? If your caretaker, your mother, your father, right, actually the way they attune to you determines the entire trajectory plotted across decades of your success or failure in life. Why? But that only makes sense if the universe is a love story. Right? And if your mother loves you and holds you in a particular way, and you're attuned to reality, then the universal love story is incepted in your body. Right? But if your early caretaker, whoever the mother is, who's ever doing that mothering, mother, father, caretaker, right? If they reject your aliveness, and with it implicitly, your goodness is rejected at the same time, then you go off the rails. Because in your very body, your body tells you the universe is a love story, but your parent tells you that your body's lying. And so you begin to understand that you can't trust your body. which is why despotism of every kind is to break the relationship of trust between a person and their body. Wow. Cha. So before the first exercise, I just want to give you 2 other short takes. The first, and these are all true. These are actual people that we've talked to, worked with over the years. And Christina and I have done this work together for many, many years and have worked deeply in this. And Christina, you remember who this is. He says, I remember about at age 11 or 12, the experience of taking a bath. I was immersed in the hot water, and I witnessed an emission from my penis. And I believed that this was the sperm I had read about, and it felt very good. And I can remember now the feeling. It was new. I'd never felt it before. It was undeniably good. I want you to get the word. It was undeniably good. Right? A gift. Right? I had never felt more alive or more at home in the world than at that moment. I was excited. I jumped out of the bath straight into my parents' bedroom, dying to share with them the good news of my discovery. I was sure they would be equally excited. My words were received in stunned silence with no emotional cues. Instantly, I concluded it was not safe, nor would it ever be safe to relate to my parents anything about my sexual nature. I did not recover this memory until I was in my late 40s. Nevertheless, the lack of engagement by my parents was a crippling rupture. I was instantly cut off from what you've called today in this workshop my Eros. My conclusion was I'm not good. I'm dangerous. My sexual aliveness will cause me to lose my place in the world. It's taken me until now to re-access that moment of alive, of being fully at home in the world. Thomas in the bath. One more. Danielle. And of course, the names are changed. At 6 years old, young girl, I walked to school, passing a church with steep steps leading to double doors through which my family never entered. One day, a group of older boys, parentheses, strangers to me, stood at the top of the steps and asked me to come up and kiss each one of them. As I climbed the stairs, I was aware of the sacred space. I was the one who chose whom to kiss first. I bestowed each kiss as a sacrament, enacting a holy communion, the communion of holy kissing. The next day, I kissed them again. There was no teasing or roughhousing by the boys of any kind. Quite the opposite. All of us felt, without anyone speaking it, that something important, even sacred, was happening. This continued for several days until someone reported this to my teacher. She took me to the coat closet and told me that I needed to find just one person who deserved my kiss. Good girls do not kiss multiple boys. To kiss multiple boys was to be a slut. And she said that word with a kind of fascinated contempt that went straight into my body. I was filled with shame. I loved kissing all of the boys. I obviously was not a good girl.